Hey Donna, how are you? Hey and Enid and Sherry. Thank you guys for being here. All right, I got all kinds of new things popping up on my screen. What in the world? Hey Kay, how are you? All right, now let me get YouTube going here. And like I said, my screen's different, and just as I was going live, I had a big crash behind me. I knocked something off my table. I hope it's not anything important. Let me get the camera straightened out just a little bit here. I don't like having the camera right behind me because I'm not real graceful. A little bit of a klutz, but that's okay. We'll get through it, okay? But like I said, I had a request for the Pro Bow, and it's really difficult to me to describe what I'm doing from, you looking straight on at me, especially with the Pro Bow. I mean, the Easy Bow to me is a little bit easier, but okay, and I just realized some of my ribbon is what fell on the floor. Let me get it up here. All right, so you're just a little bit off center, it looks like. Wish I could bring it over a little bit, maybe like this. Okay. All right, is everybody good? Can you guys hear me okay? Somebody just let me know. And I just thought of one more thing I need to get. Oh, and I found it. Never mind. It's here. So anyway, there's all kinds of ways to make bows, and what I'm going to show you today is the Pro Bow bow maker. It was actually the first bow maker I ever had, and I love it. I to this day, even though I've been doing this all this time, I still will I make handmade bows. I make bows using the Easy Bow Maker, and I also use the Pro Bow. And just depending on what kind of bow I'm making or what I'm making it for will dictate what I make. And sometimes too I have to say, sometimes it depends on how sore my hands are, because I do have some problems with my hands. So, and making lots of wreaths all the time and tying lots of bows, your hands get sore over time. But I like to use the Pro Bow if, for example, I was asked to make bows for a wedding one time, and I wanted them all to be the same size. And so if I make it by hand or if I use my Easy Bow Maker, I have a little bit harder time making them all the same size. So I use my Pro Bow for that one. And to me, it just makes a little bit different type of bow. To me, your bow loops are maybe a little bit more fluffy, but anyway. So now the Pro Bow, it has this peg right here. Okay, this is where the center of our bow is going to be. Okay, let me zoom in. Actually, that might give you a little better view here. But right here, the center peg, that is what we're going to be making our bow from. That's where the center of your bow is going to be. Okay, and then you'll see it has all these different peg holes here, and depending on what row you use will determine how big your bow is. I generally use this, it's the C row, and that makes a 6-inch bow loop on the largest part here, or a 12-inch approximately, a 12-inch wide bow. Okay, so if that gives you an idea. If I'm going to make a tree topper bow, I might make it out here on this very last row, which is F. Okay, I have to say I've never made a bow on this. Okay, this A row. That's for teeny tiny bows, which probably like a little baby or something like that. Okay. I also have my spool or my ribbon holder over here to the side, and now. Before I get into this, I do want to tell you that there is a learning curve with the Pro Bow, but you can get it. I promise you. There's lots of videos on both YouTube, Facebook. I know I've used, even on my blog, I've got a post there. And then Regina Sellers, who is actually the developer of the Pro Bow, she has excellent videos there too. Okay? All right, now we're going to start out, and I like to use a 26 gauge floral wire for this. You can use thicker wire if you want, but to me, the 26 gauge, it's a little bit thinner and pliable, where I can get my bow loops a little bit more tight there in the center, and it's just a little bit easier to handle to me. Now, wire gauge, the bigger the number, the thinner the wire, which is the opposite of what you might think, to me anyway. Like an 18 gauge wire is much thicker than a 26 gauge wire, okay? Now, I probably would not go any thinner than a 26 gauge, okay? Because I've even had the 26 gauge break on me before when I pulled it real tight. And if you maneuver it a lot, you know, do a lot of twisting, it'll break on you, so you need to think about that. You might want to start out with a 24 gauge just to kind of get an idea what you need to do. So first off, I'm going to pull out 26 inches of this 26 gauge. Here, I'm going to try not to knock over my camera here. 26 inches of this 26 gauge wire. I'm going to have 2 pieces of that. Hey Sharon, hey Cindy, Billy. And I'm going to tell you guys too, I've got my phone set up behind me, so unless I got my back, or unless I turn around, I'm not seeing comments. So I'll go back through after we get done with this bow, and I'll answer any questions that you guys might have, okay? I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces of 26 gauge wire, okay? All right, so I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to fold it in half, just like that. And I know this wire is real hard to see because it's, like I said, it's thin gauged, okay? All right, I'm going to take one of those pieces of wire and I'm going to hold it, or I'm going to put it off to the side, okay? All right, and I've been asked before too, I mean, could you use a pipe cleaner? I suppose you could use a pipe cleaner. I have never done it. I would think it'd be a little difficult, but I mean, go ahead and try it if you want to. I don't know why it wouldn't work. All right, now, one thing that's different, if you're used to working with the Easy Bow Maker, the Easy Bow Maker, we start with the bottom ribbon and work up. The Pro Bow, you're going to work from the top ribbon down, okay? So if you can imagine that this middle peg here, that's the center of your bow, okay? Right here. And so that's going to be the very top ribbon that you're going to see, okay? All right, so we're going to start with that one. And I'm folded this ribbon, or this wire, in half, okay? All right, now, I'm going to use this, it's a 1.5 gauge. It's kind of a sheer emerald green ribbon. That's going to be my first ribbon, okay? Here I am trying to, wish I had someplace else I can put my camera, but I'm going to try to not knock it over, okay, guys? But if you get a bump or two, just know it's my arms here. Okay, all right, so again, this is the center of our bow. I'm going to lay out my ribbon, and I usually, on my tail here, I like to make my tails a little bit longer than I think I might need. So, I mean, it's hard to adjust if you make your bow tails too short, okay? So I always err on the side of caution, make it a little bit long. So I always bring my first tail out to the B level here, which is about 5 inches, okay? And your bow, if you get a Pro Bow, it won't come with these numbers. I actually put those on there myself just so I knew what I was doing, okay? All right, now let's pinch up the center right here at the center at this peg right here. Okay, I've got it pinched. I'm going to take that first wire that I folded in half, and I'm just going to take it, I'm going to slip that in there, whoops, slip that in there, and then I'm going to wrap that wire around there and tighten it up, okay? So I've got that right in the center of that wire, okay? All right, now, I like to put a middle loop on my Pro Bow bows, so I'm going to use this peg right here, wrap it around here, okay? Now, one thing, This is double-sided ribbon, but if you have a single-sided ribbon, meaning there's a good side and a bad side, you always want the good side pointing away from you. Okay? If you can pretend like we're looking from the top down on this ribbon, so you want the good side looking at you, or looking away from you, I mean, okay? All right, I've wrapped that around there. Now, I'm going to take this where I wrapped this wire around. I'm going to hold this right in the center of this peg. And I'm going to bring this ribbon around. I'm going to pinch it. And then I'm going to wrap this wire. I'm going to take the bottom one and the top one, and I'm going to twist them around. We're going to tighten that right there in that center. Okay? All right, so I've got a piece of wire on my left hand. I got a piece of wire on my right hand. Okay? All right, and this is good and snug here. All right, now I'm going to hold this still here, and I'm going to take this one that's in my left hand. I'm going to twist it around this peg. Okay, now it's out of your way. Okay? I'm going to take this other ribbon or other wire that was in my right hand, and there's a little peg right here at the bottom, a little nail. I'm going to take this wire, if I can get a hold of it, take this wire, and I'm going to wrap it around that wire, or around that nail, and stick it underneath my table here. Okay, so now all the wire there is out of my way. Okay, I know this is confusing, but like I said, there you can learn it. I promise you. Just take it slow. Okay. All right, now you could go ahead and cut your tails now, or you can wait. I'm going to wait. I'll do it later. I'm getting this tail. I'm bringing this up out of the way. I'm going to come over here to this B, just like I did over here. I'm going to come over to B, and I'm going to cut that ribbon too. Okay? And we're going to slide that right up there out of the way. Okay? So we've got our first loop done. Okay? All right, stay with me now, okay? Now, I think the next ribbon I want to use, I've got 5 ribbons I'm going to use, okay? I think the next one I'm going to use is another 1.5 here, okay? I didn't show you the other one here. I've got this ribbon here too, okay? All right, let's do another 1.5 ribbon. Stick that on my ribbon holder over here. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and take this off, because otherwise it's going to unwind. Okay. All right, so I've got my ribbon. I've got the good side here facing up at me right now. And I'm going to make these tails about the same length. Okay. And again, I need to measure my center of my bow right here. I'm going to pinch this. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take, remember that other wire we had. Okay. We got it folded in half. I'm going to take one of these legs here, and I'm going to take it through that loop that we just placed. And I'm going to bring it out at the bottom on the right side of this peg. Okay. Think right side and right arm, okay? It's over here by the right side. Okay. Now we're going to slide our ribbon in. Again, good side is pointing away from us. I'm going to hold it on there and twist that wire. Okay? I'm going to bring one of them up and one of them down. Okay? I'm going to show you where I went. Pretend like this is the wire. I took that wire right through this loop and brought it out on this other side here. So I know that wire is hard to see. Let me push it up just a little bit here. I always try to migrate back toward me. Okay? All right. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put it up here out of the way. Again, I've got the right side of the ribbon facing away from me. I'm going to take this ribbon, I'm going to loop it around this next peg. Okay. Now, this is the part that you need to kind of watch here. Try not to pull too tightly when we're pulling our ribbon around these pegs, because you can start to shift the center of your ribbon off to the side, and then that your bow loops are not going to line up, and then your bow is going to be all wonky. Okay, so I just have enough pressure on this just to keep the ribbon on this peg. Okay, all right, now I brought it back here. I'm going to bring it to the center of my bow, which is right there where I pinched it. Okay, now, and plus, if you notice this is off to the side, this is the time you want to fix this. Okay, but you want this, that little knot right there, right in the center. Okay, I've got this pinched. Okay, I'm going to twist it again because I want my good side of the ribbon going out away from me. I'm going to come down here on this next peg here. Okay, again, just tight enough to keep my ribbon right. Okay, all right, bring it back here. I'm going to pinch it, twist it, just like we do when we hand make our bows. Okay, all right, now I've grabbed my ribbon that's on top, or my wire that's on top. I'm going to grab the wire that's on the bottom, and I'm going to twist it just one time, because if you twist it too many times, then the center of your bow is not going to be tight. Okay, all right, now we'll come over here. I'm going to cut off this ribbon about the same place, and we're going to get this up out of the way. Okay, all right, you guys doing okay? Oh, thank you, Zuli, thank you. And as I said, I'm not seeing very many comments because you're behind me, but I'll go back and I'll look at everything after I get done with this bow. All right, now we're just going to continue to repeat this process. Okay, all right, so let's see, next ribbon, I think we'll go, well, I don't want polka dots next to polka dots, so let's separate this. Got this other ribbon, is the only other ribbon I guess I have. I tell you what, I'm thinking here a minute, guys, just a second. I don't want those words up on the top. That's my dilemma. I didn't think about having polka dots and polka dots. I'm going to go ahead with polka dots. I think that's a lesser of two evils. Okay, and I don't want another green up, you know, right up here up top. So we're going to go with polka dots. They are smaller, a little bit different patterns, so that's okay. And I guess that's, there we go. All right, now this time I'm going to make my tail a little bit longer. Okay, so let's go over here to 6. Again, I can cut it off real easily. Okay, if I decide it's too long, I'll cut it off. Okay, we'll go down here about 6. And again, I've got the good side facing up now. I'm going to pinch it right here at C, at the center. Pinch it. Okay, and I'm going to do just like I just did on that other. I'm going to put this right here at that center. Okay, I'm going to bring that wire from the top, get the wire from the bottom while I'm holding it with my pointer finger. Okay, and tighten it down and twist it. Okay, just one twist. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Take this up around this next peg. Okay, again, we're not pulling it too tight to where we shift our center. All right, I'm just going to bring it right back here, right at the center of the bow. Pinch it, twist it, take it around the next loop, pinch it. Okay, and I'm holding it there at the center. I'm going to twist it, and we're going to tie it. Okay, and when I'm tying this knot here, I'm tightening it down too, because you want your bow center to be tight. All right, I'm going to come over here to C. I'm going to cut this off. Okay. All right, you guys seeing a pattern now? Whoops, I keep on bumping that, sorry. Like I said, I'm working in tight spaces here today. Okay, let's see. All right, now let's go ahead, before we put this patterned ribbon on, I think I want to put a solid in. This is a 2.5 inch ribbon, so I've done 1.5, 1.5, and then I did a 2.5, and now we're going to do another 2.5. We could have put another one of these in there if you wanted to. I think I'm going to do it this way. You can mix up the patterns however you like. In fact, for that matter, if you wanted to use the same ribbon through the whole bow, you can do that. And actually, that's probably not a bad way to practice or start out. Just get you one of those big rolls of Sam's ribbon and just keep on using the same ribbon. But I promise you, if you keep practicing, it will come to you. I know it's intimidating when you first see it. All right, now pinch that ribbon. Good side's going away, even though this is double-sided ribbon. We're going to tighten that wire around it and twist. Okay, get that out of the way. Bring it around that next peg. Bring it back here at the center. Pinch it. Twist it around the next loop. Pinch it. Keep my thumb there. Twist it and tie it up. Okay? All right. And I just adjusted that just a little bit. Normally when I'm working with this bow maker, I'm sitting down. I'm standing up right now. And so I was kind of bringing the center, of my ribbons upward. Remember, you want this to be real straight, not just this way, but you also want to look down and it be straight this way. But with me standing up, I was kind of pulling it upward. So like I said, if you see that, go ahead and affix it then. Go ahead and adjust it. Okay? All right, now, so we've got our next ribbon there. Let's do another one. Now this is one directional ribbon. I do use that with the Pro Bow some. I don't like to, I don't like one directional ribbon. Not sure I know anybody that does like to work with it, but I'm going to show you how I adjust it with the Pro Bow. There's different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you my way. Okay. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this ribbon off. It just says Merry Christmas, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't just make a bow with this. I just went through there and found ribbons to work with today. I didn't really take much thought into it, but I'm going to cut that off so you're not just seeing this. Okay, moss. If you want to put a little Spanish in there. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to lay this down 6 inches, pinch it. Good side away from us. Put it on here. Tighten it down. Twist it. Get this out of the way. All right, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around this peg. I'll come back here. Oops. Come back here and pinch it. Twist it. Go around this next peg. All right, now I'm going to show you something here. We're going to keep on going, okay, because I'm going to make 2 loops of this. If I wanted to, if I'd like more tails of this, I could just go ahead and cut it and then use the same ribbon again. But with the words, I thought it'd look better if I had two loops of it on either side. All right, I'm going to twist it. Bring it back around this next peg. I'm going to pinch it. When you get out here, it gets a little bit more difficult to keep this all straight. You just got to be real conscious of it. Okay, put that around the next peg. Right here. Pinch it, twist it. Okay. All right, now I'm going to tie this off. I'm tightening it down before I twist it. Okay. All right. Now we've made our bow, you guys. All right. Cut this off right here. Now, the next thing we need to do, we need to take this wire off of this peg. Now, resist the urge to do it in a hurry because I've tried to do that before and it just wads up on itself. So actually, you know, unwind this, okay? Patience, which I don't always have. All right, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to get this off of that little nail down there, okay? All right, now we're going to take these two that I just untwisted and that was around our pegs there. All right, I'm going to take that. I'm going to hold on down here. I'm going to tighten this. Okay, and twist it. Okay, and again, this is another point where you can look to see that you got your bow center straight. And I just made a little adjustment there. Okay, lift this off. Okay. All right, so now when you look down through there, you should be able to see that straight right up and down. Okay, get my hands out of the way. It's straight up and down this way, and it should be straight up and down here. Okay. All right, I just realized I didn't bring my fluff box. Let me see if I can reach it. It's underneath my table here. Let me see if I can reach it from here. I may have to go the other side. Oh, goodness. All right, this is a fluff box. This is really a heavy box. I don't know what's on the inside of it, but it's very heavy. I can't lift it with one hand. Okay. All right, and this also is for the Pro Bow, but I use it for other things too. I did not buy this for a long time. I bought my Pro Bow, and then I thought that it really didn't serve that much of a purpose. But I tell you what, this is a life changer. It's so nice to be able to fluff your bow with two hands, okay? So we're going to take this now. We've got our wires here. It has a little eye hook right here that's opened, and then it has a nail over here on the side, okay? We're going to take our bow. I'm going to slide that wire underneath that eye hook. I'm going to take this. I'm going to wrap it around snugly, okay? All right, and I'm going to stand this up. Now I've got two hands I can fluff my bow with, okay? I'm going to try to do this without knocking my camera here, guys. All right, so we'll just start here at the bottom and start bringing them the opposite direction, okay? So if I have the bow loop, I'm going to take the tail the opposite way, okay? And then I'm going to reverse the process on my next one, okay? Whoops, let's see. All right, now you can see that my words are going different directions. So now I've got to decide which way I want the bow to be, whether this side be up, that side be up. And I'll just go, since this is closer, I'm just going to go in here, I'm just going to twist it, okay? We're going to make this the top of the bow, that's the bottom, okay? Not that the print is so large on this particular ribbon that's not going to make any difference because you really can't see the whole words anyway, but there's that, okay? All right, now we'll go the next level, and that is, let's see. Oops, I know I just knocked you guys again, didn't I? Okay. All right, and we just go up layer to layer and start fluffing these ribbons. Okay. So I've done my first two layers there with this print bow or print ribbon. Okay. Now I'm going to go up to the green, and we'll just take the tail one way, the bow loop the other way. Okay. And what I usually try to do, I try to make a X like the, you know, these two tails going this way, the bow loops going this way, okay? All right, now we'll go the opposite way. Okay, and I'm just working up layer by layer. All right, let's see where I've got, okay. And as I'm in this bow loop, you'll notice I've got my fingers in there. I'm not just pulling this like this, I'm opening up that bow loop, okay? But see how already how fluffy this bow is? The Pro Bow, it really does make nice bows. Okay? All right, and then this guy we'll just put right in the middle. Okay? All right, and then I would typically, I'm not going to, you guys know how to dovetail ribbon in that. I'm not going to do that right now, but I will go through there and trim all these bow tails. Okay? All right. Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Oh, and somebody's sending me stars already. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. I just got that yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Angela. Oh, Pam loves her Pro Bow. I do too. I mean, it took me about 3 days to learn it. And that was watching a lot of videos and that kind of thing. Oh, she's had her Pro Bow for 3 years and only used it a couple of times. Yeah, practice it. You're going to love it. Oh, Sandy loves it too. Good deal. Good deal. I'm just looking through to see if I missed any questions here, guys. Like I said, I have got the camera back behind me. Oh, Carol, thank you. That's sweet of you to say. Thank you so much. Laura's hanging in there with us. Okay. All right, I don't see any other questions. Okay, good deal. And you guys, I know it took a long time to make this bow, but, oh, Laura, it took a long time to make this bow, but I was talking. When I'm sitting and, you know, that's sometimes if I'm watching TV, I'll just sit down with these and I can whip out about 5 bows in probably about 30 minutes. Just, you know, probably about a little bit over 5 minutes a bow, okay? Like I said, you would go back through and you would trim all these tails just like normal, okay? All right, so let's do another one. This one's not going to be as involved. I'll just go through a little bit quicker in case you want to just watch another one right now, okay? Just to keep your mind fresh while we're really focused on it. Let me get this out of the way. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hey, Jean. Hey, Sue. Oh, Laura's wanting to know where you get it. You can get these on Amazon is where I got mine. And I'll try to think to post a link here shortly. After we get done with the video, I'll post a link for you. But it's under Pro Bow the Hand. Okay? All right. Now, let's go ahead and make another one real quick here. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to talk while I'm doing it, but I'll go through a little bit quicker. So I can show you it doesn't take like, 30 minutes to make one bow, because it really doesn't. All right, and again, we're going to get 26 inches of 26 or 24 gauge ribbon, or wire, I mean. All right, and again, you guys, if you're just joining in, I've got my camera behind and my phone behind me, so I may not see your question. I will go back afterwards and answer. All right, so I've got, whoops, forgot to cut that. I've got 2 pieces of 26 gauge wire that both pieces are 26 inches, okay? And I folded them both in half. All right, so get that out of the way. Now, again, we're going to be using our ribbons. This is what I pulled for the second bow. Got these here, and then this red, you know, I love this ribbon right here. And again, we're going to be starting with our top ribbon first. Okay, so my plan is to use this 1.5 inch ribbon here first, if you can see that. Okay, and then I'll follow it with another 1.5, and then I'll probably come in, I might put another loop of that, and then I'll probably put another loop of that and just one of the red velvet 2.5 inch. Okay. It seems like you guys can hear me all right. Is that because, like I said, I realized when I got going live that I forgot to get my microphone. All right, now I've got this folded in half, 26 inches of 26 gauge wire folded in half. All right, and as I said, I'm going to use this ribbon first. This one's always a little bit awkward to set on my ribbon holder here. Okay. All right, and we're going to take it, and again, I'm going to go a little quicker this time, but I'll still talk. But I'm going to lay this down, measure it out to about 5 inches, pinch it right here at the C, okay? I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to pinch it around there, okay? So I've got it pinched and tight, okay? All right, now I'm going to take this, I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm just going to hold it right there at that peg while I'm taking it around here. Okay, whoop. All right, now I've got some of the wires going this way, some of it's going that way. All right, I'm going to pinch this over here. And again, I've got the good side pointing away from me, good side of the ribbon. All right, I'm going to take the top wire, put it underneath. I'm going to bring the bottom wire over the top. Okay, I'm going to twist this. Whoops, good grief, I got to pull it over the top there. All right, now I'm going to take my one that's in my left hand, I'm going to twist it around here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my other one, I'm going to put it on that little nail down there. Okay, all right, now I'm going to trim this off. And I'll go ahead and dovetail it now so you guys can see. This is the way I normally do it. And then I can trim them down shorter if I want to later. Okay, and we'll get these two out of the way. Get out of there. Okay. All right, now let's go with this 1.5 inch ribbon here. Put this up out of the way. Go ahead and dovetail it. All right, I'm going to lay this down, good side facing up. I'm going to pinch it right here at this peg. I'm going to find my other wire here. All right, I'm going to put it up here. Right up against there. I'm going to run this wire down through that center loop. Sometimes it doesn't want to go. You just got to work with it. And probably because I got my wire all twisted. And twist this. All right, there we go. All right, so remember I just put that down right through here, right through that center loop, coming out to the right side down here. Okay, right there. All right, now I'm going to twist these wires tight and twist it once. Okay. All right, now we're going to go around this next peg here, good side of the ribbon's facing away from me. I'm going to bring it right here back to the center, pinch it, twist it, back around the next peg. Bring it back to the center, pinch it, twist it, take my wire, bring it down here, I'm going to twist it around that ribbon. Okay, all right, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this off about the same way I had, or same length as I had my other one. Okay, get that out of the way. Now, let's see, was I going to put, I was going to put one of these here. Can't remember now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this. Gonna lay it down. More one directional ribbon. Yuck. Yuck only because it's hard to work with. All right, now we're going to pinch it. I should say harder to work with than the other. All right. Twist it. Okay, get this tail out of the way. Wrap it around the next peg. Pinch it. Twist it around the next peg. Pinch it. Twist it around the next, or tighten it down. Got ahead of myself. Okay. All right, make sure my center's doing good, which it looks like it's good. All right, let's go ahead and dovetail this. Okay. All right, I think I want to bring in, let's see. I was thinking I was going to bring in more red by now, but I think I will. I'm just going to finish it with this. That's what we'll do. It's my final answer. So I forgot what I was going to do. That's okay. We're just here to learn right now, right? All right, let's dovetail this. I don't typically just play around with velvet ribbon, though, I have to tell you guys. All right, so let's pinch this. Especially like right now, red velvet ribbon is hard to find. That's all right. It's so pretty. All right, we're going to take this around the next peg. Bring it back to the center. Pinch it. Twist it. Next peg. Pinch it. Twist it. Now we're going to tie it down. Okay. All right. Now, a question's been asked before too, you know, how do you put your tails on? The easiest way I know to do it, I mean, you can leave all these tails long if you want to. To me, they don't fall right afterwards because your tails are going to be kind of mingled within the bow. I like all my tails to be at the back. So what you can do is, like after you get your bow made and get our wire off, I'll show you here. Let me go ahead and get the wire off. Okay, let's lift it up. All right, I'm going to hold it here. Oh, good grief, I picked that up. I'm not paying attention. I'm going on to the next step. I should have tightened that before I took it off, guys. Just like we did last time. But I was thinking about the tails. But, see, I get distracted so easily. It's like squirrel syndrome to the max. Okay, so anyway, you've got the two sets of wires here. What I do is I just put my tails, like I would take this ribbon, make me a tail, and then tighten it right here with this wire, just like that. Okay, and then all your tails are at the back. And I do that with all the ribbons. I just bunch them together and just put them here. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste all that ribbon. And I don't plan to do anything much with this bow, probably. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a wreath with it. Okay, get this out of the way. Get my fluff box back up here. We're going to set the center of the bow right here at that eye hook. Wrap it around down here at this little nail. Stand it up. And then we'll just start at the bottom. Bring the bow loop one way, the tail out the other way. Okay. Definitely I'm going to have to do something with this bow. I can't just waste this velvet ribbon. That's too pretty. All right. Let's fluff it out this way, tail one way, bow loop the other. Again. Just keep working up our layers. Okay, and I've got, you can see, you know, my tails are uneven, so I'll go back and I'll trim these all up after we get it all fluffed, okay? But again, I like to have them a little bit longer than too short, okay? All right, this one usually is, you just put it wherever you want it, okay? Let's put these, put it like that. Like this one, definitely we'll need to trim that. Trim, let's see, do I want to trim this? Maybe a little bit. Definitely this one. Okay. All right, so there we have it. You guys doing okay? All right, let me look through and see if I've got any questions. Like I said, I've had the camera behind me, so I couldn't watch. Zulie's wanting to know why you don't start with the wider ribbon at the base, because that wider ribbon is going to be the bottom ribbon. The first ribbon on the pro bow is your center ribbon, okay? That's why I start with the smaller ribbon on the inside and then the larger ribbons in the back. But you could, that being said, you could use all 2.5 inch ribbon if you wanted to, or you could use all 1.5 inch ribbon. It's whatever you want to do. But yeah, typically I'll put my smaller ribbons at the top and bottom. The bottom ribbons are going to be larger. Now, I could also have, in between these 2.5 inch ribbons, I could have come back here with a 1.5, but my top one's always going to be my smaller one. Okay? All right, looks like I missed a question. Hey, Vince, how are you? Okay, anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, like I said, I don't have the camera set up where you can see me. You can see my hands today. I say hi. But anyway, if you haven't checked it out, I did list quite a few ribbons today. I'm destashing. There's some that are just sets of ribbons that I've had that I need to destash. Others I've actually got for sale, you know, ordered actually to sell. So there's a kind of a blend of them. I've got more of them I'm going to be listing. And again, for anybody that sent me stars today, like I said, that's a brand new thing for me. First day today, going live with stars. I really appreciate it so much. And even if you don't send stars, I really appreciate you being here. And I'm happy that you spend your time with me. So if you have any questions about the Pro Bow, let me know. I will post a link in the comments. I didn't think to do that before. I'll put a link in the comments where you can go to purchase this. As I said, I know probably Regina has some on her site too, I'm sure. But on Amazon for sure also. So Okay? But don't be impatient trying to learn it. Just take your time, watch a lot of videos, practice, practice, practice. As I said, it took me at least 3 days to learn it myself, but I love it. Once the light bulb goes off, you get your muscle memory going, you'll love it. Okay? All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again so much for being here. I